Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing really well. I've got the what's on my iPad video for today. I know you guys had talked about wanting to see this and what was on my iPad, and so I figured this would be a good week to do it. And I didn't have a plan with me done for this week, so I figured this would be best because I have been so bad about planning. But I am hoping to get back on the train and I will have a plan with me up super soon. But anyways, here is my iPad. I have the first generation 12.9 iPad Pro with the first generation Apple Pencil. I also have a Logitech keyboard and case that goes with this iPad. This is the one that has the, what are they called, the magic connectors or whatever. So the keyboard it looks like this, and it literally just snaps right in there. I don't have to use Bluetooth. There's no, what's the word? Charging of the case or anything like that, and there you go. The case comes with a stand, which I absolutely love. It is really a really handy stand. I feel like it actually works, and it yeah, I love it. I also love that I can disconnect the keyboard so I don't have to use it all the time because I don't actually type on my iPad very often. And then I also love that it came with this, pencil sleeve, so I always have my pencil here. Again, because this is the first generation, I know there's a new version of this out for the new iPad Pro, the one that has the second gen pencil that snappies to it, but because I have the original, I needed somewhere to hold it. So this case was fantastic. It had everything that I needed, and I've had it for 3 years or something like that. I absolutely love it. Again, these keys, I had the Magic Keyboard, the original Magic Keyboard that came with this. Is that what it's called? I don't know. Anyways, I had the original one, and I didn't like the keys. I couldn't type. I felt like I was I don't know, not pushing buttons. But these ones are real keys, you can see. And so I absolutely love it. It's got all the smart keys that I need. It's got, it's a full keyboard. Love it. Absolutely love this keyboard. If and when I ever get a new iPad, I'll probably get another Logitech because it is so fantastic. Absolutely love it. Also, it's backlit, so once it's connected to my iPad, it lights up. So if I'm typing in the dark or whatever, I can still see, which is another thing I didn't really like about the Magic Keyboard, or I don't know what it's called. The first one, the one that came with the case. Anyways, love this keyboard. I'll have it linked down below if you want to check it out. And then I've got the original, the first generation iPad Pencil with this little, I don't know what it's called, dongle thing on it. And pretty much it's literally only to keep my cap from being lost, because this is the Apple Pencil, the one that you have to charge with, a lightning cable, or you plug it into your iPad, right? Like that, which I do. This is how I charge it 99% of the time, but it is a little scary that I have young kids, and I'm always afraid that either I'm going to or somebody's going to snap it off and it's just going to be done. But first gen Apple Pencil, I think I've had this thing I've had my iPad for 5 years now, and I've only ever changed the tip once. So, but these tips, do come off, which I think it's the same in the second gen too. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I know nothing about it. And then I have this little dongle. It's got little Minnie Mouse ears on it, which I think is super cute. And it literally just keeps this attached when it's being charged, so I don't lose it, because I totally would. It comes in a bunch of different colors. I will leave this link down too if you want. For a while, I had a skin on it that made it look like a crayon, which I thought was really fun, but it got really dirty and gross, so I took it off. Then for a while, I thought about having one of those full-blown, what are they called, sleeve things, that are grippies. But I couldn't put it in my case, which is, a thing. And then, which is also a reason why I don't have like a pencil grip thingy on it. Sometimes I have them and I use it if I feel like I'm going to be working a ton, because it really is easier on the hand. But for the most part, it's literally just the naked plain Apple Pencil and my iPad. And also, I forgot, I have just a regular matte screen protector on this. It's not paper-like. I haven't changed it, I don't think, ever. It's super cheap one from Amazon. So, but I feel like, I know some people have said that like the paper-likes wear down the nibs of your pencils, and I don't know if maybe that was just the old ones and the new ones don't do that anymore, but I just got like a regular plain matte screen protector, nothing super fancy. My pencil works perfectly on it. I don't have to, it doesn't slip around too much, and I haven't had to change out my nib my tip very often, which is great. Anyways, I'm gonna have my iPad right here. We're gonna switch it over to the screen recording. So if you see me looking down a lot, that is what is up with this. But let's go ahead and get going. All right, moving on. Here is my lock screen. It is just my logo, which you guys have seen before. If you've been around, you've seen it on my Etsy, my Instagram, YouTube. It's pretty much everywhere. I made it myself. I don't know, maybe one day I'll change it. Probably, we'll see. Here is my home screen. I made this background on Canva. I actually really love it. I like the scrapbooky feel with kind of the washi tape and the Polaroids. I thought it was really fun to have, pictures of my family and me and my husband down at the bottom. Then over here, I have got a couple of widgets that always stay on my screen. I love the implementation, is that the right word, of widgets with the iPad. I absolutely love having them on my phone, and I cannot wait for the new iOS to come out for that iPad, so you can put your widgets on your home screen like they are on your phone, whereas these ones kind of just live in this first page on the side right here, and I love it. So in this first widget here, I've got the batteries. I love having the batteries and being able to see how much charge I have with everything. And then I've also got, let's see what else. I've got the notes app, the notes widget, the how many, what is it, screen time widget. And then that one is Siri suggestions. Then on this second widget, I have got my calendar, just so I can make sure I have no big important tasks coming up, or what my meal plan is for tonight. For example, it's chicken parm, holidays, things like that. And then I also have the TV app widget, which is they're both of these stacks are the medium size. They're not the little square ones, obviously, and they're not the giant ones. Anyways, so that is my widgets and my home screen. Okay, moving on. Pretty much all of my apps are on this one page right here. I have one group of apps on the second page, but everything else is pretty much on this first page. I like to keep my iPad super streamlined. I don't use it a whole lot for gaming. I don't use it for reading or watching things. Sometimes watching things, but it's a little big. It's not very portable, so I don't, I wouldn't just take this out to I don't know, read in my bed. It's not portable. So I do use shows and things like that sometimes when I'm working, but a lot of times I'm working on my iPad and I'm watching TV. So I don't use it a whole lot for that, but I do have some apps on here for that. But that is why, there's not a whole lot on here. It's very streamlined. I like to keep it pretty clean. All right, moving on to the first group over here. I have got, it's called Things. It's pretty self-explanatory. Most of these are apps that come with the iPad, settings, camera, clock, FaceTime. I do have one here called NC via Celia. That is my church app. And so I can like watch sermons and things like that with that. Then the calendar app, again, that's the native Apple calendar. I use my iCalendar for pretty much everything. If you want a video on like my whole planning setup and style between like my digital planners, I have a paper planner, I have iCalendar, I have Trello, let me know and I can like try to film something like that. Anyways, I also have Kindle and iBooks. Like I said, I do have them on here, but this iPad is not very portable, so I really don't read a whole lot on here. I have the WhatsApp chat, which is WhatsApp for iPad. Living in Central America, everybody here uses WhatsApp, and sometimes it is easier just to respond on my iPad. But I don't have any of my notifications turned on for iPad. Like I don't get WhatsApp, I don't get iMessage, I don't get email notifications either on my iPad, just because it's not very, I get them on my phone, and so I feel like I don't necessarily need to have them on my iPad as well. Then I have the GIF keyboard, which I absolutely love, and it really, you just kind of, you have to have the app so you can have the GIFs on your keyboard. I love GIFs. I think they're one of the best inventions ever. I also kind of feel like a wizard or a witch, I guess, every time I use them, because they're like moving pictures, Then I have Zoom, because 2020 was last year and we Zoomed a lot with everybody, and the iTunes store. Okay, moving on to the second group, which is the productivity group. I've got pretty standard apps in here, I feel like, too. This is the Pages app. It is Apple's version of Word. I don't actually use it very often, but it's good to have. Then I have Drive, which I use for obviously my Google Drive, which if you have purchased from my shop, or if you have accessed my freebies, or if you're in my Facebook group, you have access to one of these folders here. It just helps keep me organized. It's really easy to share and things like that, so I love that. Then I also have the Google Docs app, just because it is pretty essential when I am using Google Drive. You have to have the Google Drive Docs app just so things open. Then I have the Mail app in here. I don't actually use the inherent Apple Mail app. I use Gmail, but you can't delete it. So then I have the Sell on Etsy app, which is the shop owner's Etsy app. So it kind of helps me with logistics and messaging and things like that. And then I have my ExpressVPN, which is my VPN. All right, moving on to the next category, it is Be Social, which is all of my social media apps. Like I said, I have messages right here. I don't get notifications on my iPad, just because it's so much easier for me, I feel like, to just answer from my phone than to get cluttered and bogged down with notifications on my iPad. Then I have Facebook, which obviously I use mostly for groups. I don't ever talk to people on Facebook, really. Facebook Messenger, because apparently you can't message Facebook without having the Messenger app. Then I have the Bitmoji app, which I absolutely love to make customized stickers. So I have this Bitmoji is actually set up to be my husband, and then the one on my phone is set up to be me. So I can make customized stickers for both of us. Absolutely love it. Then I have the Instagram app here. I don't know why I have it on here, because let's be real, Instagram on the iPad is the worst. Literally, what is this? Why has Instagram not come out with an iPad app? Somebody let me know, because I love Instagram and I love posting on Instagram. I love scrolling. I would love to be able to post on Instagram from my iPad, but I can't because it's horrible. Moving on. Soap packs over. All right. Then on the just standalone apps, I've got a couple of really just general apps, like the photo app, App Store, and my notes app. I use notes literally for everything from ideas to planning to kits to shopping lists, recipes. This is a recipe of something I'm going to make later. Literally, I use my notes app for everything, and because it's all synced with iCloud, I can access it on my phone, on my iPad, or on my computer, which is just fantastic to me. I love it. Then I have the Gmail app, which, is just for Gmail as well. Okay, moving on to the next category, I have got it's called Watch Me, because it's got all of my streaming services. Like I said before, I don't actually watch a lot on my iPad, mainly because I'm watching on the TV and working on my iPad, or I'll put something up on my computer if I'm at work and work on my iPad. But a lot of these do have like picture-in-picture availability, which is actually really, really nice if I am watching on my iPad and I also want to work. But I've got Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube, Disney Plus, Netflix, the Apple TV app, and then Chromecast, because my parents have a Chromecast and you have to you need an app for certain things with an iPad because it's not made by Google. Anyway, so I have the Chromecast app, and I love all of these streaming services. I have, nothing bad to say about any of them. So moving on. Then the next category is called art, and this is just some of my art apps, the ones that I don't actually use a lot, because I have my most used ones like Procreate and things like, you'll see them later. But the first app is called Amaziograph. This app is actually really, really cool. You can it was like the OG Mandela app, and so pretty much, you draw and it repeats things throughout the radius. So you can make mandalas, which again, I know like Procreate has this option now, and this was again like an app from back in the day. It is a paid app. I've had this one for forever. Actually, it's a really nice app. I wish it had some better streamline. You know how like on Procreate, if you use Procreate, you can like make your strokes a little more smooth with streamline. I wish they had that on Amaziograph, but they don't. Then the next app is Skillshare. I love Skillshare. I've used it for anything to learn hand lettering, digital bulleting, to bullet journaling, to Adobe Illustrator, drawing. My husband took an Excel course. Pretty much you can find, if you want to learn something, you can pretty much find it on Skillshare. I love it. It's a really good, it's worth the subscription, but so that's my Skillshare. The next app I have is called Unsplash, which is really just for royalty-free photos. So I like using these sometimes as for Instagram. Sometimes I use them as lettering backgrounds. I also will use them in mood boards, things like that. So I love it. You have different, up here you can search, they have different categories. You can save the ones you like. Let me see if I have any likes. Yeah, so here are my ones that I've saved that I've liked, things like that. And they're all royalty free, so you don't have to worry about somebody coming after you. The next app is the Diptyque app. That's a thing to say. It is a photo collage app. It's again one of the classic ones that I've had for forever. I have it on my phone as well. Just, the only thing I don't like about this is that you can only do squares. Like I wish you could do like different size ratios, but they only have squares because it was made for Instagram. Anyways, so that's the Diptyque app. Then I have iFont, which again you use to add fonts onto your iPad. I really only have one that I have done this with, which is Clockwatcher Regular, which if you have seen my Plan With Me's or seen any of my spreads, this is my favorite font, and now I can use it throughout my iPad, which I absolutely love. Then I have YouTube Studio. Again, I use that for my YouTube videos, and InShot, which is a mobile video editing software. I mainly use it for Reels and TikToks. I haven't used it for like YouTube or anything like that, but we'll see. Then moving on, the next app I have is Trello, which my Trello video is coming soon, so keep an eye out for that. I use Trello to pretty much keep me organized. I've got everything from content planning to, I've got content planning to kit planning. So again, all of my kits that I plan on using for the rest of the year, as well as all the kits I have purchased, so I don't repurchase artwork. I will do a more in-depth video about Trello and how I use it in another video. I also use Trello mainly to plan my shop. So everything I have to do from this week, next week, this month, next month, and then ideas and things that I have finished. I also have on the side here all of the holidays so I can keep track of that. I also use Trello to meal plan, which you can't tell on the mobile app, which is unfortunate, but I have, waiting for a truck, I have a calendar power up on this. So on my desktop, I can like hit the calendar power up and it'll show like a calendar. And so I can just easy drag and drop, for example, my meals into which days I want them. So it's really, really easy. And then I also have my iCalendar subscribed to a couple of these. So when I update it on Trello, it updates on my iCalendar. So I know, for example, what releases I have coming up or what meals I have planned for that week. So that is my Trello. Then the next app is Keynote. I use that mainly to make planners, but I haven't actually used it in a long time. Then the Etsy app, which is obviously just the Etsy app, the regular one that you can like buy from. I have the Sell by Etsy app, which is the shop owners app, but then the other Etsy app is just regular Etsy. Okay, so the next app that I have is called Astropad. It's actually pretty cool. So basically what it is I have Astropad on my Mac, and then I also have Astropad on my MacBook Pro, and then I also have it on my iPad, and it pretty much just mirrors the screen. So then I can use, for example, I can use my Apple Pencil as a cursor or as a mouse to clean designs up or things like that, which is really, really actually helpful. It's kind of like a cross between Apple Sidecar and a Wacom tablet. I really do like it. It's a little laggy, it's a little slow, so I wish that they would make it go a bit faster, but that's really the only problem I have with it. I mainly use it for Adobe Illustrator. This was especially before they had the Adobe Illustrator app on the iPad too. The next app I have is Magic Eraser, which again is another one of my favorites. I use it all the time to remove backgrounds from images to put into my planner as PNGs. So like for example, I can take this one it's like a self-portrait I made from the app Voila, which was really fun. But you can crop it down, then you can hit the magic wand right here, and then just tap. I like to have the black background because it seems to be easier for me to see like when there's a little outline or whatnot showing. Then you can adjust the sensitivity of the brush right here, so how much color the brush is seeing. And then if I click, I can export it as a PNG if I want to, which again, I think is such a fantastic idea, right? Absolutely love this app. It is a perfect and a must-have, I think, for digital planners. Love it. The next app I have is called Coolers. It is actually a really fun color palette app, and you can just randomly generate new you can randomly generate color palettes. I can randomly generate color palettes here, which I think is just so fun. And then if you want to, you can also search by keyword. So let's say I want to search vintage summer. Then nothing comes up. What if I just type in summer, summer, then all of these color palettes that had the keyword summer saved with them will pop up. You can then export directly into Procreate if you want, or you can save it as a PDF or a PNG and then import it that way as well. Such a cool app. Again, I think it's like $3, but it was totally worth it. The next app I have is Adobe Illustrator for the iPad. I have not used it very much. I mostly use Adobe Illustrator on my computer just because I'm used to it. But again, I was so excited when they came out with Illustrator for the iPad, but I have not like played around with it, and I really should, because I really need to get better at it, and I haven't. So that's the thing. That's my goal for this next year, is to get better at Illustrator on the iPad. Then the next app I have is Affinity Designer. Again, as you can see, I haven't used it at all. I've been wanting to get Affinity Designer for a while now, mainly because I hate having to pay for the yearly subscription to Adobe. I absolutely hate it. But I'm like so scared to switch over to Affinity. Anyways, so I got this on my iPad. As you can see, I haven't touched it yet. Let me know what you think. If you like Affinity Designer, or if you're like, Adobe person, because I really do want to switch over, because again, I don't like having to pay every year for Adobe, but I'm just so worried. Anyways, so that's another thing I need to do, is figure out how to work Affinity Designer. If you know of any good tips, tutorials, things like that, leave them linked down below for me, because as you can see, I need to work on that. Okay, moving on now to this bottom bar. What is this thing called? The task? I don't know what it's called. Anyways, I have all my most used apps here at the bottom. These three at the back end are my most recently used apps. These ones are the ones that I find I am reaching for every single day, multiple times a day. So the first one obviously is the Files app. I use my iCloud for everything. I use it for everything from my shop to planning to just documents for home. Everything goes onto my files, my iCloud, because then in my Files app, because then I can access it everywhere. Computer, iPad, phone, all of it. Love it that everything syncs. Then the next one is Safari, because you need to have access to Safari. The third one is Over app, which again is one of my absolute favorite apps. If you have seen any of my videos, then you know that I love this app, and I use it every single time I plan, mainly to make scripts, but I absolutely love it. So I can change my text. I have a bunch of different fonts down here. Some of these are fonts that I have imported. Some of them are fonts that are native to Over. I do have Over Pro, so I pay a yearly subscription to it, but you don't have to have the Pro version in order to import your own fonts, which I think is fantastic. I love it. I also use it, as you can see, for different posts and stories. It also has like a bunch of different templates that kind of, I think it kind of is rivaling Canva kind of, but I use Over all the time. Love this app. The next app is Goodnotes, which everybody knows what Goodnotes is, right? If you're on this channel, you know what Goodnotes is. Goodnotes is the app that I use for planning. I love it, or PDF annotation. I also use it for my shop. When I offer Goodnotes files, I use this app in this folder right here to make those files up. I have a couple of digital Bible study notebooks, and this one's a digital Bible and this one's a digital Bible study. Then I also have my planning app, obviously. So these three are my planners that I have made, and this planner actually is all PDF. So I like to keep, as you can see, my Goodnotes is pretty bare. I like to keep my Goodnotes, like my iPad, super, super streamlined, because I have found that if I let things like pile up, or if I have too much in my Goodnotes, it lags and it drives me bonkers. It drives me insane, because I'm dealing with files when I plan that have so many images. For example, like this one from last week, this one has got to have like at least 60, 70 images in it. And so the files can get pretty big. And if I have too many weeks in a row that are like this and filled up, my Goodnotes it lags and it drives me nuts and I can't do anything. So what I've done is this Landscape Planner 2021, which is a free planner in my Facebook group. Go check that out. This is actually all PDF versions of my spreads. I don't have any that have live images in them. So they are only, so for example, it is only PDF. Like you can't annotate or edit on any of these. Are all flat PDFs, because I find I like having all of my weeks in my planner, but I hate when Goodnotes lags. So this is the workaround that I found. So I will take, for example, this week, export it as a PDF, then import it back into this planner as the PDF. They're not editable, like I said. I can't, like, none of this is editable, but it's okay. I found that once I'm done with a week, I don't need to go back and re-edit it. So it saves space, it keeps things from lagging, it doesn't like drive me nuts, and it seems to work out for me, but as opposed to this one, which would lag a ton. So I end up having a couple of different weeks going at a time, especially right now because I'm back planning. And then my current week is also up there, and then I will put it back into my planner. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments. I can explain it further. Then the next thing I've got is the Digi Hobo from Soup to Coco. I really love this planner. I want to get into digital Hobonichi or Hobonichi in general because I really want to get one like in real life or like paper planner, but I'm really scared. So I figure if I have like a Hobo one, then like a Digi one, then I can like mess around with it. And then this planner here is from, oh, what's your name? I bought this one last year because I liked the setup, but I haven't actually touched it because I made my own. How horrible is that? But actually really, this planner is beautiful. Look at it. It's gorgeous. Who are you by? Let me double check. I know I have you somewhere. Who are you by? Here it is, Mary Campbell. The planner is gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. I love this like front cover that it comes with. Love it, but I just haven't touched it. Then this is the Hobonichi Weeks that I made for myself. It was just when I was trying to decide if I wanted a Hobonichi Weeks or what. And then I also have my Digibujo, which I made for myself as well. So there's that. Those I haven't touched in who knows how long. And that is my Goodnotes app. All right, moving on. The next app I have is Procreate. As you know, I love Procreate. I use it pretty much all day. Every day I use it to draw all of my stickers. I absolutely love this app. I have it pretty much organized that way. I have different stacks, and I like having it. I saw this on my digital lettering account, and somebody had said she organized her Procreate this way, and I just fell in love, and I love it so much because everything, it just looks really clean. And then like, so I can go into this stack right here, and these are all my Olivias that I've drawn, or my monthly calendars that you guys get, or different kits that I'm working on. I also use it for all of my mock-ups and flat lays for my Instagram. I have my logos, everything is on here, and I love it. Absolutely love this app. One of my favorite ones. Definitely worth the money. 100% go buy it. Really, you need to. Then the next app is Pinterest, which everybody knows what Pinterest is. I love using this for inspiration, for just anything pretty much. As you can see, my Pinterest is pretty eclectic. Everything from noodles and dip to crafts to makeup to hair. I love Pinterest. I'm not on it as much as I used to be, but it is a really, really good app. And I love having it down at the bottom. That way I can pull it if I need for like color palettes or inspo or things like that. Then moving on to the second page, the only group of apps I have on here is the Kiddos app. And sometimes my kids like to play on my iPad, and so I have some apps dedicated especially for them. Some of these, like these ones right here, are writing apps, so they can actually use my Apple Pencil and like practice their writing, which I think is really fun. They also love Procreate. I have a whole stack right here dedicated to my son and daughter where they pretty much just color. And so it's pretty much just PNGs that I have found, and then they color on it. They absolutely love to do that. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed getting a peek as to what is on my iPad. If you want me to do another one of these in the future, let me know. I'm probably after the new iOS like drops, I will have different widgets and things. So if you want something else, let me know down below. Also, if you have any questions about any of the apps or how I use them or what my opinion is on things, let me know in the comments down below. I'm always looking for new video ideas. I am planning on having the Trello video come out pretty soon, so a more in-depth video on how I use Trello specifically to plan my kits. So let me know if you want a different video, for example, like how I use Goodnotes, and keep it from lagging for me and my planning style, or Procreate or Over. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any other questions or things like that. I hope to see you guys really, really soon. Have a great day.